I don't know what the obligations are at this time until I look at those conditions. But those are usually for improvements, I would think, but anyway, I'd have to look at those. But again, you know, as the city attorney mentioned, this withdrawal completely, you know, nullifies the event.
Mr. Alvarado, just directly east and northeast of Cesar Chavez School, there was to be a 15-acre park there, dedicated park. Not a soccer field, but a park with running paths, hibachis, shade, and chores. That park was to be built after 210 homes were built. 210 homes were built there maybe 8 or 9 years ago. The whole area is developed now. I don't know how it's split by the city. As you say, the planning commission, we don't have any enforcement authority. But now, 8 or 9 years later, the park still hasn't been built. And it seems to me somehow rather than missing enforcement of the conditions that the planning commission and city council puts on these developers. How do you overcome it?
Commissioner Selleck, I think we are now beyond the item that is before the commission. So if that is something that you would like for some feedback, that is something that probably could be addressed later. But at this point, I think it's time for us to
move on to the next item. Okay. Thank you. Okay, item number 3, housing element update, 2008.
Mr. Chairman, can we have just a motion and a second accepting the withdrawal?
Okay, do we have a first?
Yeah, I'll move to accept the withdrawal of the request for amendment.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, vote.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. No. Who's that? Martinez. Okay, should we go to item number 3? The item number 3, housing element update, 2008-2014, general plan amendment, 2008-2003. We have a presentation by Order City.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, members of the commission. As you know, the item was before you at your previous hearing and continued because of what I reported to you were work that was still being done on the housing element. Particularly comments that we received from the Housing Community Development Department, State Housing Community Development Department, that were rather extensive. Tonight we have our consultant, Eric Camp, representing Rainy Planning and Lawrence Associates, that have assisted the city in the preparation of this document, which, as you know, is a mandated document. We also provided to you, you should see in front of you, that just a couple of items that were missing. One you should have is an outline form of Mr. Beerkamp's presentation entitled Rainy Planning and Management. You also have a copy of the comments that were received dated May 23rd, 2008 from the Department of Housing and Community Development, and there was an Appendix E that I believe was may have been missing from your information from the housing element. We would like, we did do a negative declaration that was prepared for the amendment, the housing element, and we have a resolution once the presentation is made to you, and if the commission so sees fit to approve, then we would first need a motion on the negative declaration, and then a motion on the approval of the element of the adoption of the resolution for the general plan amendment 2008-03. At this time, if I could have Mr. Beerkamp come up and again summarize the hearing for you and explain.
Okay, Honorable Vice Chair, I just wanted to say that the whole As Mr. Alvarado indicated, you do have a bulleted summary of discussion points in front of you, as well as the full final housing element document. I know it is a large document. There's a lot of information there. I believe members of the public have access to that bulleted summary list as well. I'm not sure if there are full copies of the final document available in the back, but if anyone does want the full document, we can certainly make that available. What I'd like to do is provide just a bit of background, just for edification, and especially for those in the audience that may not have been involved earlier in the process. The housing element update has been underway for approximately 6 to 8 months. We initially submitted, on behalf of the city, a public review draft to the State Department of Housing and Community Development in March of this year, and that began the 60-day review period that they have. We received their comments back on May 23rd of 2008, and thanks to great assistance from your staff here, we were able to prepare the final draft that you have in front of you. And with your recommendation, if you so choose to recommend approval to the council tonight, we would turn that around to the state to begin their final review just as soon as possible. Obviously, if you have concerns, any recommendations, provisions that come out of tonight's meeting, those will be incorporated as well. The bulleted list that you have in front of you really encapsulates the approach of HCE's comment letter. There are the 5 areas, A, B, C, D, and E. Areas that, general areas where they provided comment on the element. The last, well, there's 2 remaining items. F, items for potential need for additional follow-up. Those would be items that, in my view, the state, in their great wisdom, could continue to take issue with. They could continue to require a more strict analysis, a more strict approach to, if you will. And then the last item, G, is just a snapshot of the steps that were made in the process after tonight's meeting. So going back to the beginning of the list, please feel free to stop me at any point if you have questions. There is, I did want to mention one thing. In your full final draft, I did provide that in draft changes, which gives the reader the ability to see exactly what the revisions were. I realize it created some formatting peculiarities. I apologize for that, but I think given the advantages of letting you see what the changes were, it was worth it. As you read down through that bulleted list, for most areas of comment, there are references where you can find that additional discussion and additional background in the final draft. Under item A, housing needs, resources, and constraints. Those are generally areas that the state required expanded analysis. One of the areas is covering extremely low-income persons. So we provided some additional tables, some additional text, discussion about, and the same applies to the issue of overpayment. How many households are overpaying? How do you determine if they overpay? So there is an additional table on page 31 and some additional description and discussion. Item B, the RENA, really goes to the site's inventory and analysis, the city's ability to provide the land necessary to meet the RENA, or the Regional Housing Needs Assessment. It was provided by SCAG. What we've done is, in response to the state's comments, we have expanded on the discussion of the vacant land available in the sphere of influence, because the approach taken by the city is the bulk of the land identified to provide buildable sites is in the sphere of influence.